Hello everyone, so this is a video series which will discuss ancient Indian history and the topic for today is Indus Valley Civilization. So we already had two previous video. If you have not watched those video, then I will suggest watching those video, then you will have a better understanding. So in our previous video we discussed the basic introduction of Indus Valley Civilization. So we will continue from there today. So let us start. So basically we discussed yesterday about the geographical extent of Indus Valley Civilization, what was the geographical extent, and we also discussed about the initial things like this was the first urbanization, then it was a bronze culture, that is wherein we use copper and tin, and we also discussed the name of few archaeologists associated with Indus Valley Civilization like Dayaram Sahni, then R.D. Banerjee who excavated Mohenjo-daro, and then John Marshall who announced that a new civilization has been discovered in 1924. Then we also came to know about Mortimer Wheeler. Then in geographical extent we came to know about the area of Indus Valley Civilization, that it was bigger than Mesopotamian civilization and it was also called Meluha, and about the river Ghaggar, Hakra or Saraswati river. Now today we are going to deal completely with the rest of the part, and today we will complete this topic. Okay, so why is Indus Valley Civilization unique? So it is unique or outstanding because of town planning and structures. Okay, so a lot of massive structures are there in Indus Valley Civilization. So that is one of the unique feature, and the basic feature is the town planning. So here are some of the unique features which are the that is the town was planned in a grid pattern. So before a town was inhabited, it was planned, and generally the pattern was grid like. Okay, so it was very much grid like, and a platform was created, and then after the creation of that platform the whole city structure was created over it. Okay, so this is one of the unique feature. Then all the roads they cut at right angles, that is 90 degree. So this is another unique feature. Then city was divided into block. There were several blocks and a city was divided in several blocks. So use of burnt brick, this was also a unique feature because burnt brick was used as at a massive scale. So unlike the Egyptian and Mesopotamian civilization, where although they were known but they were not used on a massive scale. So it was also remarkable for similarity in the size and shape of the brick. As we discussed yesterday, that Indus Valley Civilization had a expanse or largest expanse, and still there was uniformity in the size and shape of brick, which was a remarkable feature. Then interlocking pattern of brick gave strength to structure to stand so long. This is also very important. So they were aware how to lay bricks in a particular grid pattern or in a particular interlocking that will give the maximum strength to the structure, and that is why after 5,000 years ago these structures are still erect. Okay, then cities had citadel. Citadel is something like acropolis where possibly lived. Okay, so there was also lower town, and the houses of lower towns were also made up of bricks, and they were inhabited by common masses or common people. Then it also suggests that mobilization of laborers on massive scale, because to build such a massive buildings you need a lot of labor. So mobilization of labor was on a massive scale, and that also points toward one thing, that is a central authority was present. So here we will discuss one by one the various structures which were there in Indus Valley Civilization. The very first structure which we are going to discuss is citadel or acropolis. So it was located at higher mud brick platforms. So initially a platform was raised of mud and brick, and over that the citadel was planned. So possibly it was occupied by the ruling class, so physically separated from the lower town. So there was a boundary between the lower town and citadel. So below it, lower town having brick houses inhabited by common people was there. The houses were in grid system. So as you can see in this figure, so as you can see here, you have citadel which is small, and here you have the lower town, and there is a separation between two. So there is a separation that is also remarkable, and mostly we will find that the citadel was in the western side while the lower town was in the eastern side. And as you can see, all the great monument like Great Bath and Granary, they were also located on the citadel. Okay, so in Mohenjo-daro and Harappa and Kalibangan, similar structure was found, that is there was citadel and there was lower town. But in Lothar and Surkotada, the citadel was located in the main settlement. So there was no separate citadel at Lothal and Surkotada, rather it was located in the main settlement. So, and in Dholavira we have another type of pattern, and what is that? There was three part of the city: the citadel, the middle town and the lower town. So these are important point which you should remember. Then some houses were multi-storied, that is 2 or 3 storied. What are other features? Each house has a courtyard. Like today also, today if you will go and see houses in rural India, then you will see there is an angan or the courtyard. Across that or surrounding that you have a lots of rooms. So the same pattern was followed at that time also. Each house had a courtyard surrounded by rooms. Separate bathing space and toilets were also present in each house. This is also remarkable because during that period there was a separate bathroom and separate toilet in each and every house, which till date we don't have. So was connected to drainage system, and that courtyard area where toilet and bathroom was there, that was connected to drainage system of street. They were very particular about personal hygiene, as you can see. So in Kalibangan we have one unique thing, that is fire altar is found, which was, it is believed, which was for the rituals to be performed. Then another striking feature is planning uniformity of brick, because the ratio of the side were always 1:2:4 of the bricks. So, and they were all uniform throughout the civilization, throughout the expanses of civilization. Then also standard weights and measures were used. So all this point towards one thing, that indicates presence of some centralized authority. Okay, then use of burnt wick is also important. There was enough timber at that period, so that timber was used to burn the bricks. So this is one point. Then interlocking of bricks is very much important to understand. Why? Because it provided strength to structures, and some of the walls are 5 meter high and have survived till date. Then the second structure which is very important is Great Bath, most important structure of Mohenjo-daro, at Mohenjo-daro. So what was it? It was like a tank at citadel, which was located at citadel. Example of beautiful brick work. Why? Because it was interlocked, and it was interlocked in such a way that it was made watertight. Okay, it served the purpose of ritual bathing. And what was the purpose of it? It served the purpose of ritual bathing or bathing. So flight of steps led to the surface. As you can see, there are 2 flights of steps here and here also, which are going to the surface of Great Bath. So floor was plastered by gypsum, which made it watertight. So it is also important. So side rooms for changing clothes. There were also side rooms for changing clothes for the person who took bath there. So here you can see these are the remains of some side rooms out here. So you can relate to that. Then water was drawn from well in the adjacent room. From where the water came? From adjacent room where well was there. Then how the water was taken out? There was an outlet from one corner which led to drains. Then another mega structure of these cities are granaries. So in Mohenjo-daro, what we have is we have one single large granary building, which is granary. And how we can say it is granary? Because some of the burned grains have been found here. Then at Harappa, what we have is we have 2 rows of 6 granaries. So the combined area of this 6 granary is equal to that of single granary at Mohenjo-daro. And this is the picture of that Harappan granary. As you can see, there are 2 rows and there are 6 small granaries. Okay, so there was also a platform for threshing of grains. So wheat and barley have been found at floors. So at Kalibangan also we have evidences of granary. And why this granary was there? Because it is believed that the central authority, they collected grains as taxes, and those taxes, those grains was kept in granaries. Then another important feature, and this is very important, is our drainage system. So the most elaborate structure of Harappan system is drainage system, and it is unique to Harappan system also. So each house has a bathroom and toilet which was connected to drain in street, and that street drain had a slope. Okay, so the small street drain was further connected to larger drain. The drain had sloped gradient. Okay, they were generally covered by bricks or arches. Then again, manholes were provided at intervals to clean them. So the drainage system was very elaborate, as you can see in all this point. In Kalibangan, many houses were there which had their own wells in the courtyard. So it was a unique feature of Indus Valley civilization. No other civilization has given so much attention to health and cleanliness as Harappa. So this was all about the mega structures of Harappan civilization. Now we'll see some other features. So the very first feature is agriculture. The region was fertile during those days. More natural vegetation attracted more rain and provided enough. Why more rains? Because of natural vegetation. There was forest at that time, so that attracted rains. So the forest also provided enough fuel for baking of bricks. Then the green cover was destroyed due to some of the activities. What was those? Because of agriculture, the plains of Indus, and that is why there was no need for any canal irrigation system. So sufficient agriculture production was there, and the sowing that used to happen in November, and harvesting used to happen during the period of April. But no hoe or plowshare has been discovered. So but furrow has been discovered at Kalibangan. So this is very important point, you should remember. You can write that at Kalibangan we have evidences of furrow. So field were plowed in Rajasthan. It implies that field were plowed in Rajasthan. So most probably they used wooden plowshare. Why? Because some toys having plowshare shape has been found, as you can see in the picture. So no, they used most probably they used wooden plowshare. So stone sickles were used for harvesting. Then wheat, barley, rye, peas were grown. Then sesame and mustard were also grown, and there is evidences of barley being grown at Banwali. Then Lothal has a unique feature, and what is that? Rice cultivation was practiced in Lothal. So they were earliest people to cultivate cotton. This is also important and unique feature. Then granaries were probably used to store grains collected as tax, which I discussed earlier. Then we will discuss the domestication of animals. Animals were domesticated in large scale. Example of animals are oxen, buffaloes, goat, sheep, and pigs. Then humped bull were favored, as you can see humped bull on lot of seals of Harappan civilization. Then dogs and cats were also domesticated, and asses and camels were used for transportation purpose or as a draught animal. Okay, or beast of burden. Then at Surkotada, Horse remains have been found, but it is also confirmed that horse didn't played any dominant role during that period. Then elephant and rhinoceros have been also found, and this is unique because you have rhinoceros at Sindh and Punjab. So now you don't find rhinoceros there, but during that period the rhinoceros were found in Harappan city. Then technology and crafts. So it was a bronze age culture, but still stone was used. So bronze tool were not prolific, and why it was not prolific? Because of paucity of tin. Tin was not available in the near by places. So copper was brought from the Khetri mines in Rajasthan, and tin was probably brought from Afghanistan or Hazaribagh. Okay. Then bronze tool and weapons contain a smaller percentage of tin, as you can guess. So large number of bronze tools suggest, but still large number of bronze tools have been found that indicate that bronze smiths were large in number. Then piece of woven clothes were also discovered at Mohenjo-daro. That says they were aware of weaving. Then textile impression on several objects. You have a statue of priest wherein you can see some of the impressions. So that says or that points about them having developed textiles. Then spindle and balls were used for spinning or for weaving. So bricks laying was another important crafts by mason, because all the structure were made up of bricks and they were massive structures. So they also practiced boat making, as you can see at Lothala and Dolavira, near Dolavira also. Then seal making and terracotta craft were also very important, and that we will discuss later on. So there were also jewelry by goldsmith. Goldsmiths, they used to make jewelries of gold, then silver and precious metal. And gold probably was brought from Afghanistan, silver was probably brought from Afghanistan, and gold from the Kolar mines of South India. Then they were also expert at making beads. Then potter wheel was in full use, and they used to make the pots having glossy shiny surfaces. Okay, and designs also, geometrical designs were there, and some motifs of animals was found. Then now we will discuss trade. So no metallic money was used, that points that barter system was in use during that period. Then navigation at coast of Arabian Sea was carried out. Most probably it was a trade between Mesopotamia and India. Then they used wheels to make carts. Commercial link with Rajasthan for copper, Afghanistan for tin, and Iran was there. Many Harappan seals are found at Mesopotamia, and Mesopotamian people, they used to call Harappan people or Harappa as Meluha. So that points that trade relationship existed with Mesopotamia. Then they also imitated cosmetic uses of Mesopotamian people. For example, they also used lipstick just as Mesopotamian people did. So as I discussed earlier, that Mesopotamian recorded these people as this place as Meluha. Okay, then political organization. We don't have any idea that what type of political organization was there, whether it was a monarchy or theocracy. We don't have any idea as such, and we don't have any evidences of any palaces or temples, so we can't say. But there was surely some authority there, which can be seen from the uniformity in various things. So probably they were ruled by merchants and traders, as the trade and commerce was predominant. Then we will see some religious practices followed by them. So numerous terracotta figurines of Mother Goddess have been found. A plant is grown out of the embryo of one of the goddess, which points that it was most probably worship of Mother Earth. So worship of fertility cult was present, and again it was a matriarchal culture or patriarchal culture. We can't say, we don't have any evidence about this. So as you know that Egyptian culture, that was matriarchal, but we don't have any evidence of Harappan culture whether it was matriarchal or patriarchal. So male deity was also worshipped. Male deity is represented on seal having 3 heads. As you can see in the figure, it has 3 heads and a horn. Okay, and the deity was sitting in yogic posture. So it was surrounded by elephant, tiger, rhinoceros and buffalo. So they might have been sacred. And at his feet 2 deer was also seen, as you can see in the figure. So this figure or this Pasupati shield is very much important, but to understand all these things. Okay, so you should go through this seal once. And then phallus worship was also practiced. What is phallus worship? The worship of ling and yoni. So that was also very much popular during that period. Then tree and animal were also worshipped. For example, people was worshipped during that time and it is being worshipped today also. Then humped bull was also worshipped during that period, and today also we worship humped bull. Then but deity were not placed in temple because there is no evidences that any temple existed during that period. Then at last amulets have been found in large number. So they have some superstitious belief on magic and charms, and they used amulet. So far, this is the first point. They did not wrote large inscription unlike the Mesopotamians. Okay, they only wrote on their seals, and that was very much limited. Writing was limited to seals and gates, and the script was pictographic, and boustrophodon was used. What is boustrophodon? That is once you write from left to right and then again from right to left. So that is called once like this and then like this. So this is called boustrophodon. So that was practiced. So this is known about the Harappan script. Then weight and measures. So they used weight and measures for trade and transaction, and mostly the multiple of 16 was used. So in present day also we still use the multiple of 16, as you might have heard that 1 rupee is also called 16 anna. So that 16 is also used nowadays. So the measurement was uniform throughout the civilization. That again points that there was some centralized authority. Then pottery, great expert. They were great expert in pottery. The use of potter wheel. Pots were of various size and shapes. Then geometrical and birds and animal motifs were made on them. Some of the potteries were perforated pots. Okay, so these are some of the points on pottery. Then seals were used for commercial purposes but had artistic value because they were intricately carved and designed, and it contained beautiful animal motifs and some pictographic symbols of Harappan script. Then images and figurine. There are a lot of images and lot of figurines, but some of the important one are beautiful. They were makers of beautiful images of metals. So a women dancer of bronze is the best example. You might be knowing this image, might have been seen this image many times. So a women dancer made of bronze is the best specimen. The other specimens are priest and Seatite bull. So this priest is also very famous and it is very intricately designed, and this bull is also very much famous. This is also very intricately designed. So these are some of the examples of images and figurines. Now we will move to origin, maturity and end. So the Harappan culture, so it extended from 2500 BC to 900 BC, but the mature phase was around 2200 BC to 2000 BC. So there was a great deal of uniformity throughout the culture. They used same kind of tools. Town planning was similar. Then seal was also similar. Bricks was also uniform. Weight and measure was also uniform. So there was great deal of uniformity, but this uniformity should not be extended much because degeneration started after some time, and we find that the pottery, they became crude. So around 900 BC, Harappa and Mohenjo-daro disappeared. So we still don't know why they disappeared, but we know that around 900 BC they disappeared, and other side continued in the degenerated phase, and the urban side they became rural side. So this is important. And then it is difficult to predict the origin and end of the Harappan culture. Then most probably some of the reason of declines are climate change, which change the rainfall pattern. Then the other reasons are increasing salinity, which led to the decrease in fertility, which led to desertification. Then another point is flood and earthquake, which changed the course of river Indus, and this led to the decline of Harappan culture. But see, these are not the valid points, because the Harappan culture was very huge. It has a very huge expanse. So one single thing cannot lead to destruction of complete culture. So this is one point to be noted. So we'll discuss what actually happened, but these are some of the speculations, so we should know this. One of the other speculation is that they were destroyed by the Aryans. And why it is propounded? It was propounded because Indra is called Purandar. So Purandar basically means the destroyer of forts. So it is said that he destroyed the forts of Harappan city. Okay. Then dead bodies have cut marks. So it is said that when Aryan invaded, they killed Harappan people. Many dead bodies were found in street. So they might have invaded. So and that is why this theory is propounded. But nowadays we don't believe this theory, and there is some other theory. What is that theory? Harappan culture was an extensive civilization. The decline of such a settlement cannot be because of one single factor or few factors. So what basically led to the decline? The most logical reason for it is ecological imbalance and climate change. So as we discussed in our agricultural revolution or Neolithic revolution, that the agriculture, that was very much important to generate surplus, and that surplus led to people having a specialization, and that led to the growth of civilization. So here also we can understand from that point of view, ecological imbalance led to decrease in agriculture, the climate change led to decrease in agriculture, and people started living subsistent life, and from there the civilization declined. Okay, so this is the most prevalent theory. So thanks for today. So please like, share and subscribe, and give your feedback in comment whether we should continue further or not. Okay, so that was for today. Thanks.